I got something you need.
You do?
Yep, and I can sell it to you real cheap.
Hey, black marketeers, round up D'Artagnan and get on over to California. Why? Well, because as Scott Shackford reports for Reason magazine just a few days ago, the courageous governor of California, Jerry Brown, just signed into law the straw statute. What will it do? It will make it illegal for restaurateurs and their employees to offer straws to customers.
Starting in January, if you sit down at a full-service restaurant, you're gonna have to ask for a straw.
Yes, indeed. They will have to ask for them. And that's the only way the customers can get them. And interestingly enough, as Shackford reports, this one seemed to be very important to Governor Brown. Quote, Brown rarely puts out statements when he signs bills, but he specifically did for this one, which was called AB 1889, noting that plastics are killing ocean life. End quote. All right, well, there are just a few problems with this, Governor Brown. First of all, as Christian Britschke has been reporting for Reason magazine, the numbers on which these legislations are passed, for example, California and up in Oregon, they tried the same sort of thing, are based on a 9-year-old's project for school. Yeah, they're not real scientific numbers in any way whatsoever. And in fact, when private companies have tried to do things like replace their straws, they realize it's a little bit more complicated than they thought. For example, as Christian Britschke reported in July for Reason, Starbucks tried to replace their straw lid combination with an adult sippy cup back a few months ago, and they discovered that they were actually using more plastic for the adult sippy cup than the straw lid combo. So, at least that was done in the private marketplace, and they could test it and see, which is actually something very important for us to remember, the difference between strong-arming people through the government and allowing the marketplace and private property to do their thing. You see, in the marketplace, people get to experiment. Consumers can say what they prefer.
I feel like I like drinking my cups with straws, my bobas with straw. I have a straw right here.
Do they want straws? Do they want sippy cups? Do they want those little telescoping things that you get with the milk cartons? What do they want, right? And based on the price mechanism, you can see where costs come in, where demand comes in, and where the cost of getting rid of the stuff comes in. But that requires private property all the way down the line. And oftentimes, when we're talking about the oceans, those aren't handled through private property means, and people are often found to be littering there, especially municipal governments. So, we run into this problem. Why? Because the market is not really allowed to show the costs and benefits all the way down the line. Regardless, Jerry Brown has signed the statute, and violators will face fines of $25 a day or $300 a year in case people in restaurants actually offer straws to people. Yes, the customers have to ask for them first.
I don't think I agree with that.
In fact, not only did he sign that, but on the same day, he also signed another statute which forbids restaurants from including as their default drinks in kids' meals sodas or juices. They must include only water or milk unless the customers ask for it. So there are two things to keep in mind here. First of all, that is an infringement on free speech and freedom of association, Mr. Brown. Second of all, when you have the nominal ownership of a business, but the actual business is being dictated to by the government, in political economic terms, that's called fascism, Governor Brown. So one wonders whether you really realize this when you're pushing this sort of thing. Mr. Liberal, do you really realize that your authoritarian diktats from the state capitol are actually fascistic in nature?
I know more.
I bet you don't. And I bet you if you did, you would feel very bad about it and think that you were being wrongfully accused of something very, very bad. Well, it turns out that there is another way to do this, Jerry Brown. If you don't like the way somebody is operating his or her business, don't tell him or her how to operate that business. Open your own. Try the peaceful route. Try peace with your neighbor. Don't strong-arm him or her. Don't tell him how to run his or her life. Don't dictate to consumers, this is the kind of restaurant you will go into. Offer something different. It's the peaceful way, Governor Brown, and that way you can really find out what people care about. You're never going to know if you're telling them how to live their lives. It's pretty straight up. Just a little something to offer you, Governor Brown. Want to buy some advice?
I got something you need.
You do?
Yep.
Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that little bell on whatever platform you're watching. For MRC TV, yeah, I'm Gardner Goldsmith.